YTBC, what's the deal? So, watched the fight last night, Gerald Washington versus Amir Mansour. They had the fight a draw. I scored the fight. I scored the first 4 rounds for Gerald Washington, then I had 5 through 10. I had all that for Amir Mansour. Some of you may gave Washington the 10th round. But usually when I listen to the commentators, it's usually biased commentary, and I don't pay it much mind. But I actually agreed with Virgil Hunter and Paula Malignaggi yesterday. I didn't like what I saw from Gerald Washington being that big and that strong. You know, you're 6'6", 250 pounds, solid muscle. You're a great athlete. He was moving away from Amir Mansour way too much. Now, I told you guys going into the fight that Gerald Washington, even though he's 6'6", he will look like he's about 6'8" on fight night because Amir Mansour, who's 6'1", likes to crouch. So he'll give away some inches. He'll come into the, he'll be he's 6'1", but he'll be 5'10" on fight night. Last night, he looked like he was about 5'6", man. It looked like the weight and height differential was so, the gap was so far, man. You got to give Amir Mansour credit. I mean, the dude is probably, he's a heavyweight now. Don't get me wrong. He is a heavyweight. But he just looked like a miniature cruiserweight in there yesterday. And he had Gerald Washington running away from him. And like Paula Malignaggi said, he was throwing jabs and moving simultaneously, like, stay away from me punches. Like, oh, don't hit me. Stay away from me. Here, take that and don't hit me. Let's just be friends. Like, that's how he was fighting. And the whole night, and yesterday I was like, man, this dude has fucking size of Lennox Lewis. If you just know how to use his jab and just sit down on one of your right hands. Even the right hands that he was throwing to hit Mansour, they looked like they buzzed Mansour a little bit. And Mansour was off balance with some of those shots he was getting hit with because he was trying to swing and he was getting hit at the same time, so he would get knocked off balance. But just the sheer strength of Washington was just pushing Mansour back. When they would get into clinches, Washington would push Mansour so far back, man. He would take about 6 steps back before he stopped and planted his feet again. He was so much stronger than Mansour. He just didn't take advantage of it, man. And then at the end of the fight, he was talking about, Washington started talking about if this is how the judges are going to do him, he doesn't want a rematch because he thought he clearly outboxed Mansour. In his mind, I can see how he thought he outboxed him because in his mind, it was touch you, move. He was literally moving at the same time he was trying to throw a jab. And I hate when guys fight. It's like you're fighting scared, man. It's like guys want, they think they're in the amateurs, like this is some point system. Now, I understand you can outpoint a guy in a professional fight. I understand that. But not the way he was trying to do it, man. He was literally trying to just like touch him with the glove and move. Amir Mansour fought a great fight. He forced the action, man. He was missing. I believe the CompuBox, they had Washington landing 108 punches, and I believe they had Mansour landing 99. I know Mansour outthrew him by about 60 to 70 punches. He was more active. He was trying to make the fight. At the very end, like the last 30 seconds, he was literally running after Gerald Washington. And it looked so weird watching it, man. It's like, dude, 6'6", 250 pound muscle bound athlete is running from a 6 foot, 220 pound guy that's 10 years older than him. That's not what the heavyweight champion looks like to me, man. You look the part, but his mentality, and I know Washington seems like a very nice guy. I don't know him. I never interviewed him. And I'm not trying to shit on him, but that's not what the heavyweight champion does. Now, I'm not saying, because he didn't get the knockout, he's not a heavyweight. No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying just his mentality. He doesn't have the mentality of a guy that wants to be heavyweight champion. He doesn't have it to me. He has the size, he has the ability, and for a guy that for a guy that started fighting, he started early, then he quit boxing, then he went to college, went to the Navy, and then he started fighting again. He has good skill. But what I saw last night, I just wasn't happy with, man. He did do some things good. He kept his distance with his jab. He changed up the velocity on the jab. He changed up the velocity on the jab. It wasn't just all power jabs, and it wasn't just all tap, pity pat jabs. He was mixing it up. And that right hand, I was like, man, if he sits down on one of those right hands, ooh. But he couldn't do it, and he started to loop shots. The first four rounds, the first 4 rounds, he was using straight punches, and that's what I thought did him justice, is when he threw straight punches. Then he started to do exactly what I said in my prediction video. He started to loop his right hands, loop. And one of the looping shots, it was an arm punch where he caught Mansour on the side of his head, and it was just his sheer strength just pushed Mansour. Washington is a strong motherfucker, man. He is, but just that pissed me off last night. And then for him to sit there and act as if like a rematch is like a rematch for what? I outboxed him, dude. You ran. And when he watches the tape, and Washington seems like he played football at USC, and like I've always said, you got to be a good to great athlete to participate in any sport at USC, especially football. So being his competitive nature, and me being a former, collegiate athlete also, I would think that him rewatching it, he's not going to like that performance. And if he thinks, and then he went on to say that, hey man, if this is how they're going to do smart boxers, and it's like, what do you mean if this how the judge is going to do a smart boxer? So now, and I don't want to bring his name up. Well, I'm not going to bring, you guys know who I'm talking about. There's a guy out there that's retired. He fought smart, right? Fine, that it worked for him. But everybody has to realize they're not him. Okay? You're not him. So when he does it, it works for him because that's what he does. I mean, come on. I don't want my heavyweights to try to act like they're Floyd Mayweather, man. And I'm not taking nothing from Floyd. I'm just saying, Washington was saying it, this how they do smart boxer nowadays. And the person that gets ridiculed the most for boxing smartly is Floyd, right? But that shit works for Floyd. It doesn't look right when you're 6'6", 250 pounds, running from somebody that's 5 inches short. It pissed me off, man, because y'all know how much I love the heavyweights, and that shit pissed me off yesterday. I didn't expect him to get necessarily a knockout, but I expected him to perform much better than he did yesterday. Where do these guys go from here? These draws are getting handed out like life reserves, man. I mean, we had Tarver and Cunningham was a draw. We had Fred Cassie and Chris Arreola was a draw. And now we have Amir Mansour and Washington, another draw. When I said I want these guys to pull away, and separate themselves from each other, we're getting a lot of draws. So what these guys need to do is go back to the old heavyweight format. Go for knockouts. It's okay to go for a knockout. And I'm not saying that, for guys to go in there and swing wildly. I'm not saying that, man. I'm just saying these guys got to start using their advantages, man. Gerald Washington, you're not going to be Ali. Okay, man. Like Ali got away with the way he fought because he has very quick hands. He was very fleet of foot. He had different attributes. You don't have those type of attributes. You say you fought smartly, like Floyd or whatever. He didn't say like Floyd, but we know who people are referencing to when they say that. It's no secret, especially in today's era. It's no secret. And you can fight like that, but dude, you have to sit down on some of those punches, man. Because that shit looked pathetic yesterday. It really did. So this just shows me how hard it is for guys to beat Deontay Wilder. And this what made me think of it. It made me think like, damn, so I was pushing for when Deontay Wilder was looking for an opponent before he fought Duhaupas or how you pronounce the guy's name, the French dude he just fought. I was pushing for like Gerald Washington or Charles Martin to get a title shot, Amir Mansour to get a title shot. And for what I've seen from Gerald Washington, you're not going to win a fight against Deontay Wilder or any title holder in a division fighting like that. But again, Washington did surprise me with some of the things he were doing. He was outboxing Mansour clearly the first 4 rounds. And then it seemed like as soon as Mansour kept bringing the pressure, he didn't really want none of it. But that's my opinion on this fight, man. It just pissed me off watching a guy that big with that size just run like that. Put his hands down and just literally ran away. YTBC, I'm out.